Simulate 51, turn right heading 180. Order 14 Papa, turn right 245, report localizer established 27.
Hi everyone, welcome to DJ's Aviation. As promised in a video I published a few days ago, I'm today going to be doing an update on the incident where we saw a man take a Q400 from an airport and crash it around an hour after taking off. I do want to inform you though, any revenue that are made from this video, so from the advertisements if it is monetized, will be donated directly to Lifeline. On top of this, I'll also be donating $50 myself. Lifeline are a national charity which provide Australians in need of support during times of struggle 24/7 around the clock. A lot has occurred over the past 72 hours or so since this incident occurred, and I feel it's only necessary to keep you all updated. What we know as of today is that a Horizon Air Q400 was stolen and was flown for around an hour before going down. The man at the controls was 29-year-old Richard Russell, a ground service agent with the airline. Richard took to the skies at around dusk and completed a handful of acrobatic maneuvers in the empty Q400 while at the same time communicating with air traffic controllers. These communications are very chilling and I'll be getting onto them later. Airline executives are still unsure whether or not Russell had formal flight training. However, some said that he would have landed the aircraft if he had, but as you'll hear me discuss later on, it does make sense why he didn't. The plane itself departed from SeaTac Airport in Seattle and was soon after departing met by two F-15 fighter jets, which were rapidly scrambled into the air to assess the situation. While in the early stages of the flight, ATC and more were trying to communicate with Russell and get him to land the plane safely somewhere or minimize the impact on civilians, and this was to no avail, and he ultimately, just after an hour of flying, crashed into Curtin Island, where the plane burst into flames, and very sadly, Russell also passed away. A captain who flies the Q400s did say that the maneuvers were truly impressive and noted that even starting an aircraft's engines in general can be quite tricky. So for Russell to be able to complete backflips and more may have indicated that he had some previous knowledge, for example a flight simulator, or really just watching programs and reading, because these things are all available on the web. The act was not terrorism and is now described as a suicide. The voice communications are very chilling, with Russell saying that he was loved and he had a few screws loose. On top of this, he also asked whether or not it would be enough to get him a job as a pilot. I'll read out now some of the shocking communications. "This is probably like jail time for life, huh? I would hope it is for a guy like me. I've got a lot of people that care about me. It's going to disappoint them to hear that I did this. I would like to apologise to each and every one of you. Just a broken guy, got a few screws loose, I guess. Never really knew it until now." Adding, "I wasn't really planning on landing it." Authorities did confirm that Russell could be best described as suicidal at the time that this occurred. It's also been noted that the ATC did attempt to get him to land, however this attempt was unsuccessful and had been told that he couldn't land the aircraft, rather just take off. Unfortunately, it is worth mentioning, as I said earlier, that he didn't have the intent of landing the aircraft without some form of damage to himself. Throughout the flight, and especially towards the end, ATC were instructing him on where to bring it down so it wouldn't impact anyone. At the end of the day, it does seem like no one else was injured. The distance between the airport and the crash site is noted to be around 25 miles, however he was flying back and forth, doing loops, and so on. At the time this was unfolding, a lot of people were scared, unsure of what was going on, and downright confused. However, after more news has emerged, I can only send my condolences to the family and friends of Richard Russell, who will no doubt be struggling and grieving in this awful time. While this video was hopefully informative to you, I do want to say if you are experiencing any bad thoughts or going through a tough period, please reach out to someone and let them know how you're feeling. I'd like to thank you very much for watching this video of mine, and I do look forward to you all joining me in the next one.
And we'll fly.